Guess who's back? Back again. Batman's back. Tell a friend. Well, no, Batman's not. Well, Batman is back, but I'm also back. And I brought my AI computer bot, chatbot, future friend. We're back for another episode. That song you heard in the beginning is called Batman because this episode, I'm Batman. No, I'm not really Batman. But legally, if you're Batman, you have to tell me. Legally, if I'm Batman, I have to tell you. But no. I forgot what I was watching. I think it was one of the NBA playoff games, and they showed the preview for the new Flash movie. I forgot all about that movie was coming out. And I was like, oh, it looks amazing. I think during the Super Bowl there was a commercial for it, like a teaser or like a long trailer, but there was another one during the NBA playoffs. It's May 2nd, if you're listening to this sometime in the late future. How's the future going? Hope it's good. Hope you're good. But it looked amazing, I'll say that. I haven't watched any of the recent Batman movies or the Justice League. I think the last one I watched is like the current Batmen, because there's always switching. Was Batman versus Superman, and after that I was like, I tapped out. I'm out, because it was just so boring. I saw what they were setting up. They're setting up the Justice League and all that stuff, because Wonder Woman was in it, and that part where Bruce Wayne was looking at the files of I guess the Flash, and so, I don't remember. That movie was a waste of time. And there's a new Batman version that came out with I'm at the age where I cannot remember actors and actresses and people who act, famous people in general, names anymore. Ben Affleck, that's what I was thinking about. We were in the Ben Affleck generation of Batman. Now we're in the Twilight vampire guy generation of Batman. As soon as I saw that, it looked interesting because I'm a fan of Batman in general. But Batman was like, growing up as a kid getting action figures, Batman was like one of the first ones I would want to get, other than like Ninja Turtles, which is crazy now because there's a comic version of a crossover comic with Batman and Ninja Turtles. I should get into that. Maybe that's amazing. For an instant kick of like nostalgia and nerdism. But okay, back to Batman. I was watching the trailer for Flash. It looked amazing, and it showed because I heard a synopsis of it, of what they're going for. It's like another multiverse, because they show multiple Flashes, Flash Eye, Flash Boys, Flash Peeps, and then I guess they jump from he's trying to go back in time or something, or whatever happened. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention. Sound wasn't on. But then I was like, oh yeah, they showed the Michael Keaton Batman from, I can't say original Batman. There have been so many original Batmans. From original Batman major movie, I'll say, because the way back Batman had a movie too. The Adam West. But for most people, 80s Batman. I just said his name and I forgot it again. But he was in there. Michael Keaton. And he has a great line. He's just standing there without the mask. He's like, yep, I'm Batman. And I was remembering, I was like, way back when I was doing the podcast that I did before this one called Stop Watching, when I was like creating show and movie ideas. I don't know if I did an episode on this, but I always had this like idea for Batman. If I ever become a comic or movie or whatever writer. By the way, writers are on strike, which is wild. If you're hearing this, I don't know how long that'll go on for. That's crazy. I'm using AI to write stuff and write it on strike. But yeah, my idea, like, especially now, since ever so often they redo Batman and they add a new like person to play Bruce Wayne. They add more characters. I mean, the comics are always going to have super deep side and backstories and all this crazy stuff. You have like Nightwing. You have all these different versions of Batman side characters and all this stuff, which is always going to happen in like comic universes for major properties like Batman and Superman and stuff like that in DC Comics. It's coming back memories because I was talking about there's a Batman show that I totally forgot. I think it's called Batman Bold and the Beautiful. Let's look it up together. Bold and the Brave. Batman Bold and the Brave, where it's like Batman, the Brave, and the Bold. Okay. Brave and the Bold. But they're Batman team ups. I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. There was a Batman cartoon, fairly recent, where there was like multi versions of Batman. I love that. I think there always should be multi verses with Batman. Because that's been going on for a while, even before I don't know, comics. I didn't grow up really with comics, so I don't know how deep stuff has gone in like Marvel comics. In the Marvel movies now, the big thing is like multiverses, especially with Doctor Strange. That movie was okay. I liked it, but it was okay. The best multiverse is that one, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I watched that recently. If you have never seen that, watch it. It's amazing. And then watch it again and be amazed again. But yeah, like Batman, there was a Batman episode of a Batman cartoon where it was like, I don't think it was the animated series. I think it was a later one where it was like 3 kids at night and they were telling each other a story about their interaction with Batman. And each kid told a story. That was like part of the whole episode. It was like 3 or 4 kids, and they told their version of them meeting Batman. Of course, they were like, making it up or whatever, or, kids' wild imagination. But the way the cartoon looked, each kid telling the story, it was like a different version of Batman. Like they looked a different way. I love that. I absolutely love that. I need to find that eventually. It's 2023. Like you could just type 2 words into Google and you'll find something you're looking for. Some random cartoon you saw maybe, or you maybe didn't when you were a kid. The imagination plays tricks on us all. But like going back to the Flash movie, there's multiple versions of Flash. There's multiple versions of Batman. And I was like, it looks amazing. I mean, it's a big budget DC movie, but I'll never see it. I'll never watch that. Number 1, Ezra Miller is in it as Flash, and he basically is like the definition of problematic actor. But they're like, we already shot the movie. Let's keep the problematic guy in it. But yeah, that's number 1 while I never see it. Number 2 is like, ever since the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, I was like, after those were so amazing, especially the second one. I guess it's The Dark Knight with, Heath Ledger Joker. To me, that was such a high bar for Batman for most action movies. I'm spoiled by how amazing that was, so I can really never enjoy Batman again. That was so good. That's the only thing about stuff being that good. Like Ben Affleck as Batman, I'm sorry. Twilight guy, Robert Pattinson? Is that his name? Robert Pat. Twilight. I'll never see that. Somebody told me that movie was like 3 hours long. I was like, nope. I am 40 years old. I am not sitting through a 3-hour movie. I can have a home theater set up. I can have a house with a home theater with a projection screen and a whole theater to myself. I still wouldn't sit there for 3 hours and watch that. Somebody told me it was like emo Batman. I was like, ugh. Even though it's dark, I love the idea of like a dark, gritty Batman. Batman is the best detective. The world's greatest detective? Whatever he used to be called. I love that. That old school, big, like pictures of Batman you see from old comics where he had a gun. Like just Batman had a gun. I love that. I love the gritty and like the noir and the black and white Batman, the versions of that. I love those. But I'm not sitting through 3-hour emo Batman. Sorry. Maybe one day. But then, okay, back to the ideas episode. From the Flash movie, there are multiple versions of Flash, multiple versions of Batman. I was like, I'm never going to see this movie because of the reasons I stated earlier. So why don't I hit up my AI chatbot friend and let's create a better version of Batman that will live in my brain, because no one else will listen to this. No. So I was like, let's come up with a better alternative. Like, Batman, a version, because this is a Flash movie, but there's alternative versions of Batman. Flash, I never really got into as a character, so let's stick with Batman. Let's create something with alternative versions of Batman. And of course, I asked AI chatbot to do that, and it gave me the most generic thing ever created. Okay, so this is the prompt. Can you reimagine the concept of Batman in an alternative universe? AI responded, certainly, I can give it a try. The first concept, the Dark Knight of the future, which is, I think, already a thing. In this alternative universe, Batman is not just a vigilante, but a futuristic cyborg with incredible powers and advanced technology at his disposal. I'm pretty sure that's like a long-running comic book line already. Okay, this is the next one. Batman Beyond the Grave. In this universe, Bruce Wayne is long dead, but his legacy lives on. A new hero, inspired by the original Batman, but takes the mantle to protect Gotham City from a new generation of villains. Ooh, I didn't read this part, but Batman's not just any ordinary hero. He's a ghostly apparition, able to phase through walls and manipulate physical world form beyond the grave. Okay, I like that. I didn't read that whole thing the first time. I like that. Ghost Batman. I doubt it's been done. Cut and print TM. Ghost Batman. I'm calling it. I'll run with that one later on. Give me a second. There's two more. Batman Noir. I think that's already been done. I don't even want to go down there. Then there's Batman Alien Hunter. Batman is not just a hero on Earth, but defender of the galaxy. That's too much Marvel. I like to keep Batman human. Okay. So that second one. Bruce Wayne is dead. So after AI chatbot gave me the generic ones, I'm like, maybe I could come with some better. I'm pretty sure I came up with this on the previous podcast I did called Stop Watching. But this is me if I had to rewrite Batman, especially alternative multiverse versions of Batman. I like the idea of Bruce Wayne being dead, but in my version, he wouldn't be dead. Bruce Wayne will be old and dying. But for somehow, some comic book reason, some action movie sci-fi reason, he's trying to like save himself, regenerate himself. He figures out kind of a way, but he can't fully do it. Like, what was it? The ice guy. Dr. something. Mr. Freeze. So Mr. Freeze, this is always like what I remember from this, except not the Arnold Schwarzenegger version. That from whatever Batman and Robin, whatever movie that was. No, forget that existed. From Batman the Animated Series, Mr. Freeze was on there. He was a scientist. His wife passed, and he was preserving her body, like cryogenically frozen, until he could come up with a cure to bring her back. That's how it became. Something happened, and he became Mr. Freeze. So his whole purpose of being Mr. Freeze and being a villain and like stealing money or whatever, stealing technology or chemicals, was to bring his wife back. And Batman stopped him. And that ruined me as a child. Became emotional after I watched that episode, but it was amazing. So Batman, Bruce Wayne, in my version, will he steals some of Mr. Freeze's technology because he's trying to save himself, because he knows he's dying. He's very old and he's dying. And he doesn't want to. But then he also figures out that there's a multiverse with other versions of Batman. So he's able to reach a few versions of Batman. And he invites them to his reality where he's dying. And he brings them over, or he's able to talk to them. And he says, I'm dying in my reality. But the versions of Batman and Bruce Wayne he reach out to they're like in a multiverse of Batman where they're not that great of Batmen, I can say. They're not that great versions of Batman. They're kind of not good. Like they try to be Batman, or in whatever reality they're in, they fail a lot. He knows that. But he tricks them in saying, I'm dying. I want you to come to my universe or my plane of existence or whatever to try out to be Batman in my reality. But it's a trick though, Because what this Bruce Wayne is actually doing, the Bruce Wayne that's dying, that's bringing the other versions of Batman over, he's going to do something and steal like their body or their youth or whatever, and like switch consciousness, that thing, yeah, to switch bodies with them, like switch his consciousness to their body, their youthful body, and keep that version of Batman in his reality and get rid of the other Batman. Because in this one, Batman is the villain. That's my version of Batman. He is the villain. Let's see a villain version of Batman. That's what I want to see. That's my version of Batman. The other version of Batman, the like less superior ones that get tricked, they figured that out at some point and they have to work together. But then they learn some new technology and they bring a bunch of Batman over, or a bunch of like different versions of Nightwing or Batman or Batgirl or whoever, and they take over. So they win in the end. That Bruce Wayne that was evil, the Bruce Wayne Batman that was evil that was bringing over, ends up dying. But then now this version of Gotham City, there's a bunch of normal Batmen. So it's like a group of vigilantes that all go under the moniker of Batman or Batgirl or Nightwing or whatever. That's my version of Batman. I think that's better than the generic AI one. Except for Batman Beyond the Grave, I do like that. The Ghost Batman. We'll go with the Ghost Batman or my version of Batman, where Batman is the villain. There's a multiverse. He brings them over, tries to steal their life force, fails, and then dies. And then there's just multi-Batman. That's why like Batman can be everywhere in Gotham City and do a whole bunch of stuff. Because it's not one person. It's a bunch of people. And they all take like Bruce Wayne's money so they can create new... they have like the capital to create new inventions, so they get better and better. So they're really like Batman. But they're just different versions of them. And that's what like creeps out all the villains. Because one minute Batman is super like buff and strong. Next he's like skinny and super fast and he can do different things. So that's my Batman pitch. I will take my check for $1 million now. Thank you. But no, that's what I was thinking of. Because I'll never see that Flash movie. I'll create my own multiverse DC Batman. So you don't have to go see Ezra Miller be problematic as Flash. But yeah, that's it. That's my multiverse Batman idea. Batman as a villain. That's the twist. You have to have a good twist these days. It's 2023. But yeah, that's Batman. That's my weirdo Batman. Either a ghost or a bad man Batman. Maybe that's going to be the title. Batman. All right. Thanks for listening to this weird, rambling, nerdy Batman nonsense that I've been spewing for the past 18 and a half minutes. But thanks for listening. I'm going to do another one soon. I did create the Instagram of this show, Dumb Tesslate, where I've been posting pictures of AI created ideas from the show. The Batman one that I've like used a night cafe to create. Check that out. It's amazing. It's amazing. Alternative versions of Batman. I love it. So check that out. The website will be coming soon. Whenever I sit down at the computer to actually do it and not get distracted by TikTok or video games or whatever. All right. I'll get out of here. Thanks for listening, guys. I don't know why you are, but I'm thankful for it. See you on the next one, where I'll create something new. Whatever I get intrigued by. One of the things I asked, I was like trying to come up with episode ideas. I asked chatbot to rewrite Alf. And it just they just wrote the same version of Alf again. So that didn't work out well. But I'll think of something new. All right. Thanks. Bye, guys.
He's obviously the most powerful mind we've ever dealt with.
Or, na-na-na-na-na-na-na leader. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na leader.
Na-na-na-na-na-na leader. Na-na-na-na-na-na leader. Leader. Leader.
Batman! I mean, leader! I love the leader.